Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. In this video, continuing the string saga, we are going to talk about grouping. So we saw in the previous video that through collectors we have several utility methods, for example, counting, comparing, summing, double, averaging, summarizing, and now we are going to see how we can group. So for example, let's give here to the domain a new enumeration. Java class, enumeration, and let's call category. So usually light novels, animes, movies, they have categories. Here we can give three, for example, fantasy, romance, and drama. And now I will go into my light novel, and to avoid breaking the code from all the tests we have, I'm going to overload this constructor with, first I'm going to add a category here, private category, and I'm going to overload this constructor with all the attributes, and the toString I'm going to replace, just delete, alt insert, toString with everything. Okay, so what's the exercise? I would like to group the light novels by category. So I will copy this list again, and then I will create a new class, Java class. Let's call string test 12. So just paste the list of light novels and let's do some changes. Let's give some categories. So for example, this one will be fantasy. Let's see which ones will be fantasy. Control C. This is fantasy, this is fantasy, this is fantasy, this is fantasy. Monogatari, we can tell that's romance, and Violet Evergarden, we can say this is drama. Okay, so now that we have these categories, I would like you to group by category. So all the keys will be enumerations and the value will be a list of light novels. And with something like this. You have a map where the category will be the key and the value will be a list of light novel. And then Alt Enter to import java.util.map. And then you can create here a new hash map. Okay, so if we had to do this manually, how would you do it? If we are short in time, we could do something like this. We just create three lists, light novels, let's call it fantasy, URL list. So just Control D, fantasy, and this one will be drama, and this one will be romance. So basically now you have three lists, and you just have to iterate over the light novels. Alt Enter, light novel, and then you create a switch, light novel.category. I forgot to add the category, so go back to light novel. Alt insert, getter, category. Go back to string test 02, inside the switch, get category. So case drama, just drama.add the light novel. And then of course we have to break. And then Control D. So we have drama, and we can say that this one is fantasy, and this last one will be romance. And romance. Cool. Now that we have this, you just have to call the category list map and then put for drama, the list of drama, and press Ctrl D twice and change here to fantasy, and here romance. Now we can just print this category list map. Ctrl Shift F10, and you have everything grouped by the category. Now, as you can see, we could improve this code. We could move this to different methods, maybe even different classes. It would be cleaner, but in the end, you are just moving the problem to different places. For strings, we can do this with one line. How can we do it? We call light novel, dot string. Now we have all the light novels, and then we want to collect, but this time we would like to use the framework of grouping by. So you have several grouping bys. We are going to use the first one, and it's expecting a classifier. The classifier is just a function. If it is a function, you can use lambdas or method of reference. In our case here, the grouping by is going to group the data of this list that we are iterating over it by whatever you pass here. So if I want to group by IDs, or if I want to group by title, or if I want to group by category, I just have to use method reference here. For example, light novel, and I want to use the category as key. So whatever you put here will be the key of your map. And now if you insert, alt insert, and then you create a new local variable, you will notice that the map that we have here is exactly the same as the one we have here. So basically now, if you just print, you will get exactly the same result. Now, if you want to clean up, basically you just have to wipe this entire code. But we'll leave it here for you to remember that using strings is a very good idea. Cool, so let's stop for now. In the next video, we are going to still use grouping bys, but we are going to make things a little bit more, let's say, different, not complicated. So see you in the next video. Bye.